everyone, and welcome to Cosplay Tea Time, a fun community of cosplayers bringing you podcast recordings where we'll talk about different themes, animes, fandoms, colors, holidays, and so much more. And sometimes during the season, we'll take a moment to step back and talk about the art of cosplaying, where today we're revisiting one of the topics, which is makeup. So this is makeup part 2. So we're just going to dive in, see if we've developed any new skills, got any new tips and tricks up our sleeves. So it's going to be a fun one, I just know it. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to introduce our lovely guest and tea sippers here, starting with...
Hi, everybody. I'm Naomi. You heard they them. To you, Bella.
Hi, my name is belladonnarose.cosplays. I am actually a licensed cosmetologist in the world of cosplay. I not only just do cosmetology and am licensed in it for the cosplay end, but outside of my cosplay life, I also do hair and makeup a lot. And I am actually so honored to be back here. It was a while of recordings, but I'm back.
You're
What's
back.
up, everybody?
Yes.
What's up?
You're back. So we're recording on the new laptop. So always fun. Let me see. And as always, my name is Jen. I'm the founder of Cosplay Tea Time as well as today's host. I go by she, her pronouns. You can find me Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Jen.Cosplays45. And today I'm just sporting a fun makeup mermaid look. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later on. The inspiration behind it. So this was supposed to be for Spirit Week last week and totally didn't have time to get it done, but we're done now. So yay. Alrighty, and with that, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into today's topic, which again is makeup part 2. So just a short little blurb. Makeup can help create and highlight looks that help complement the cosplay outfit and its accessories. From light makeups to face paints to prosthetics to add bold effects, cosplayers experiment with makeup brands that accent their face types and allow the makeup to help them express the characters they are dressed as. Cosplay Tea Time guest and tea sippers will be discussing their own makeup processes, what products work for them, and I'm just going to say this here now, we are not sponsored by any brands whatsoever, so you don't have to say it, I've already covered it. Whatever brand you hear, just know we're not sponsored. So that's out of the way. And what assists them with their makeup looks. So yes, I had to get that out of the way because it always comes up. It's like, oh yeah, we're not sponsored. Maybe one day. One day. So yes.
Sponsor us, please.
Please.
We just I know we just goober a bit, but like please
We got
sponsor us.
We're creating
We want to
I know.
do commercials with you. Well, okay. We just want to work with you.
In some way or fashion. But that will be a topic for another day. We're focusing on today's topic, again, makeup. So we're going to go ahead and ask our first question, which is, what are some cosplay makeup brands you use?
Cosplay makeup brands. Well, it's just not for cosplay, but I use YX and most.
So, I usually use whatever products that I find in the store at work. I don't really like purchasing certain products online because they will come in and they will be damaged. Just either how the product is made or what packaging the product is put into, on top of how that product is also packaged for shipment. Um, so most of my makeup, I went to the store and I got, and one of my very good friends, she donated to me, and I do have a lot of eyeshadow, I admit, but it's different brands. But some brands that I have become obsessed with that work really, really well are brands for finishing, setting, and finalizing your full makeup look through setting again. Um, I actually love to do all 3 steps when I do body paint. But my favorite brand for a setting spray is the Paletto Forever. any setting powder that works. The one that I just have on hand is the CB Beauty setting powder for face and body paint.
Mhm.
And then I just use the and yeah, quit shining, the NYX
Mhm.
um HD finishing powder. And I also have another one that I'm gonna try out. I just got this like a couple months ago. But it is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop mattifying finishing powder.
Mm.
Both of these products, they do different things, but they hold the same kind of um finishing
Yeah.
thing. My brain is not working. We
What?
came off of con season,
Oh, no.
but
Yeah.
they hold up the same amount of like finishing
Mhm.
properties. They just do different things like by like the little minimums that make a
Mhm.
difference in your makeup routine. And then something that I use for just like setting my foundation a little bit more is the CoverGirl True Blonde. I actually choose a shade that is my skin tone, but they also have like shades that are you know, other skin tones, and I think they even have one last time I saw in the store, a white one or a translucent one. So like those are the brands that I love to use the most.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'll usually choose eyeshadow brands where the eyeshadows are super pigmented, like the NYCX. Got that.
Jeez. There's the spaghetti queen all over again. Oh, no.
Don't remind me.
Sorry.
That episode can be replayed somewhere on the YouTube channel.
Somewhere.
But this so this is like the this is one of the old ones that NYX had. Like it's under a different brand now, but you know, the same coloration palette. Um and then for like eyeshadows that I really love the most when it comes down to natural makeup, I actually go off of what my skin tone is. I have a little bit of cool tones and a lot of warm tones. And I really like to take it down with the neutral colors where, excuse me, this one's a little messy. Um, but a lot of like the cool tones that you see here, these are a lot of cool tone browns. And a very falling apart glitter. Because I accidentally, 'cause I put this in my bag and yeah. Like this is the quartz palette from ColourPop. This one was actually given to me by a friend, and I really, really love this palette for like the neutrals. You can tell which products that I use the most and which that I don't, depending on like how much is there. But you know, I you can tell like I really do love that palette a lot, and I actually am looking to play with my makeup a little bit more with more brands that I discover and the more things that I use. Um, but yeah. But currently right now is I'm just using the CV Beauty body and face paint for some of my looks that require like more face paint. And then this stuff kind of stains, so get
Oh.
yourself some really good hair color remover wipes. Um, but you know, for like the minimum amount of stuff, and if I don't want staining, I usually use Marion. They're pretty good. They come in like these little singles, and they also come in like stick form. I just got this recently, so I didn't open it just yet. But this is a stick form of it in white, which is really, really helpful for my nifty cosplay. And then sometimes, if it's just black or white or a neutral color that I have on hand that's like eyeliner and I can do it. I either sometimes I use like gel eyeliner for um simple makeup stuff. And then sometimes I'll use like pen. And once in a while, I use charcoal depending on what effect that I want to get with my makeup because you can smear gel and like pencil. And then once in a while, I'll have like these on hand for like touch-ups at cons, mostly for my Jinx cosplay. This is actually a color tattoo eyeshadow stick. And
Ooh.
then this is like another like blue eyeliner.
Mhm,
But usually I'll pick these up only for like tattoo touch-ups at cons, not so much for doing full-on looks,
mhm,
just because if it takes up a lot of product, it's going to use most of it. So you just want this for touch-ups. That's all I use is for touch-ups.
mm.
Anyway, that's the end of mine.
Oh wow.
The mine and
Great.
makeup obsession.
I know.
And I believe we can get on into the next question because
I know. I had a couple little things too
okay,
because yeah, you definitely expanded like your makeup kit and everything. But I feel like that CC powder, I feel like I've seen that before. Maybe it was like a fever dream or something. I feel like I've seen that in a store somewhere. Get that, like, where is that from? Like
this is
touch my
what it
brain.
looks like.
Yeah, I've seen that. Drive me
The
crazy.
powder just like fell out of the side.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
honestly
crazy.
love this stuff.
I know. So,
Even though it stains, I love this stuff.
hmm
Very pigmented, yeah.
yeah, and I was gonna comment
That's not a good
too.
thing.
I was gonna comment on too, like finding out what your skin type is, like your shade and like tone of skin is really important,
Hmm.
as well as,
Mhm.
do you have dry skin, oily skin, sensitive skin girly here. So, yeah, like
Mhm.
figuring out those types of things, as well as I've noticed too, I've switched over to sticks more than like powders or different things. Like, I use like stick eyeliner, not eyeliner, oh my gosh, eyeshadow and
Yeah.
stuff now. So, and then I'll just mention my honorable three mentions, which is BH Cosmetics. They have a lot of fun stuff on their website that I use for my cosplays, especially their eyeshadow palettes. Neutrogena, I'm a Neutrogena girly at heart because they take good care of my poor sensitive skin. And then Wet and Wild, I've been using their concealer for years, and it looks like I have no bags under my eyes from insomnia, so thank you, Wet and Wild. I will say. So, yes,
That was an
yeah.
ad right there. We're the ad. Mhm.
Right there. Can you cure my insomnia? No, but Wet and Wild can make it look like I don't have it. So, yeah, exactly. So, let's see. Up next, we have what is the order in which you put on your cosplay makeup?
Okay, so the order I do my makeup is I put on the primer first, then I go in with my blush, my eyeshadow. Bella?
So so this actually depends on the first official step. If I'm going to be wearing this makeup for hours and hours on end at a con or for like a very long photo shoot, like a very long time versus a very short amount of time. If I'm gonna be wearing like a very like long amount of time, what I like to do is I like to spray my Palmetto setting spray before I put anything down on my face. Because this not only locks in makeup, but this can also make sure it has a base where like nothing is going to move um like over the first layer of this before you lock this in again at the end of your routine.
Mhm,
So I'll usually do that on long push days. If not, then I'll just go in with my foundation as base, um and anything to use to kind of like set down the
mhm,
foundation. I also like Mizani for their foundation and their lip stuff. I only have one color, but really good products. It's actually their concealer and foundation duo.
2 for 1.
Um, and then I'll kind of go in and I'll do like, contour and highlights. And then I'll actually finish off anything that I feel like would need to have a little bit of like a translucent white cast in like certain areas of my face. It gets really selected during the contour and highlight process. And it is very fun. Um, and then I'll go in and I'll do fun eyeshadows on my eyes. I'll take care of my eyebrows. And then if I'm doing a lot of female makeup or makeup where I need to make my eyes look bigger, what I actually will do is this is by NYX.
Mhm.
It's their waterproof white, and this is what it looks like.
Ooh.
This because it's
Mm.
waterproof, it's gonna stay on for like when you take off your makeup a little bit, but
Mhm.
o over time within the next couple of days, like the more that like you kind of like rub against it, it'll come off.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's just hard to break down whenever you use your makeup wipe on it. 'Cause it's supposed to
Mm.
be waterproof.
Okay.
Um, so I'll kind of do that first, and then I'll go in with like a black eyeliner
Mhm.
for certain looks. If I want like certain areas of my eyeliner to feel more natural, I go in with a brown,
Mhm.
just because that's the color of my natural hair and that's the color of like
Mhm.
my brows. And that is actually the next color that can fade into black if you were to do sort of like a transition phase, like very like below the eye or
Mhm.
like anywhere on your face where it would need to, and you were using these two products. Um, and then for some makeup looks, so I do not like to wear lip color just because I get overstimulated with the product on my lips. However, when so this is only for buyer characters when I have to do a fake scar. I will actually go back in with my NYX white, and
Mhm.
then I will go over it with a little bit of my foundation, just like on a little brush. I usually use an angled brush for most of
Mhm.
my looks. Just because I feel like for me, it's easier for me to like get down like whatever like I need to, while it's like at like an angle.
Mhm.
So, yeah, when it comes on the eyeshadows, some eyeshadow looks are fun, some aren't. Sometimes I'll do color up here. Sometimes I'll just do it down here. I'll do it all around. And then I'll kind of like go in and I'll do like eyeshadow before the eyeliner process usually.
Mm.
And then when it comes down to doing like colored brows, I usually do an eyeshadow and water mixture. I just take like a little water on a brush, dip it in like, let's say we're dipping it in like a black eyeshadow. And I would just kind of like put it like on like my
Mhm.
eyebrows and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I'm thinking I'm not having a seizure. I'm thinking.
You're good. You're good. Figured that was your thinking face.
Yeah, and then for some characters, if I'm doing male characters, once in a while I will do mascara. Um, if not, if I don't want the product fallout to pop like on my eyelashes, I'll just take a little bit of water and kind of like remove that off.
Mhm.
Um, and then for like female looks where it's supposed to be extravagant, like theater makeup, I will actually take like my fake lashes
Mhm.
in this eyelash glue and I'll actually apply them. And something that I do with my products is if my products come with instructions on how to use them, I will always read those instructions and know how to use them. And that way, I am putting my makeup on and I am using my makeup properly. If you're ever at the store and you go and you get these ingredients, no, you go and you get these products, I highly recommend to read the back of your products, see if there's any instructions, and to look at all the ingredients that are in there in case you have any sensitive skin problems or skin conditions that can't take certain products and you just have a reaction. And if you also are unaware, what you can do is you can take the product, open it up,
Mhm.
get like a little bit on your finger,
Yeah.
and then you can actually do a patch test. Patch test,
Mm.
I highly recommend you do it on like the inner arm, or kind of like behind here. And that way, if you have like a reaction,
Mhm.
you can kind of tend to that reaction like a small
Yeah.
controlled spot. where you can see it or like that you can access it and kind of get that treated in like a small area. Sometimes reactions they will go like beyond the area in which a certain ingredient will
Mhm.
like have contact with, but that's just
Mhm.
like a it's just
Yeah.
like just understand your body and like know
It's not
before
in a
buying
dermatology, which
products.
none of us are. So yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I promise I am only licensed in cosmetology, not
Yeah.
dermatology.
Yeah.
Dermatology
What
is a
a
whole other thing other than cosmetology. A
yeah.
lot of people confuse like we know our stuff in cosmetology when it comes down to that, but we cannot diagnose. A
True.
dermatologist can diagnose.
Mhm.
So yeah. All the cool stuff. Yeah.
Lot of cool stuff. So yes, let me see. I'll keep mine pretty short. So cosplay, usually what I do is primer, under eye corrector, concealer, foundation, blush, eyeshadow, mascara. Yeah, mascara, eyeliner, and then a whole bunch of setting spray, especially if I'm going to the con in the middle of the summer and the humidity is high. Setting spray is your friend. So, and then well, today's look, I did like the little hair net trick thing, which
Mm.
oh no, I lost the thing. Hold on one second. Ah. So I did a Pretty Mermaid Halloween makeup. I was inspired by YouTube video Kate Manahara. It was like a couple years ago, but yeah, I took like one of the fishnet wig caps and put it on, and then I used a Spirit Halloween like glitter glue stick and I rubbed it all over. Which felt nice on my head and everything to make the scales and different things like that. But it was like, when do I put it on? Is it like after foundation? Is it before? Like, what do I do? So, but I think I got it to work. So, a little bit off course today, but it's all good. So, let's see. Oh, we kind of spoke about this. We'll see if anybody else has anything to add, which is how do you keep your cosplay makeup from like melting?
Well, the thing is, I don't really make up that much. No advice.
Okay. Um, so how I keep my makeup from melting, it all comes down to the setting products that I use. Like I said, I use a setting powder and a setting spray. The setting powder is supposed to lock everything, um, whether it is like body paint, or it's just regular makeup. I tend to use setting powder mostly on body paint because that's where I see the most with it like transferring and stuff. Not so much with my face makeup because like I'll usually get that down with this. But when it comes down to this stuff, it does transfer if you don't set it down properly. Um, I actually do the maximum amount of effort to set this down because I do not want transfer happening. I'm always careful about how much product that I use this whenever applying it on myself. Um, and then what I'll do is I'll apply it, I'll let it dry, and then I will actually take the CB Beauty setting powder. This is what it looks like outside of its box. Um, it's just like a powder form. It comes with a little puff. It has like a little like holes in it so we can get the product out from inside of it. Um,
Mm.
I'll kind of just like apply that onto like the area in which has already dried of like body paint usually. A little product right here. Let's say I have like some. I'm like put it down, let it bake for a few minutes as it's called in the instructions. Um, and then I will not only set it after with the Palmetto setting spray, but I will also go in and I will completely lock in with 2 to 3 coats of hairspray. Usually you're
Mm.
not supposed to use hairspray on skin because it has chemicals in it. But if you don't, as long as you don't use it on the face, you will be fine. It does work to lock in everything on your face, but the thing is you don't want to breathe that stuff You don't want that getting in your eyes. It's very bad. Just don't use it on your face. You'll have to go to the hospital. Um,
Mm.
so
Eyes washed and all that. So
yeah.
it makes sense. Let me see. So how to keep cosplay makeup from melting. I use Neutrogena finishing spray. Comes like a little white bottle. Been using it for so many years. It has never let me down, but I do the T, so it's like spray, 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 and then the X is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of fan it a little bit, and then just pray that it works. And it does, so might have to do touch-ups here and there, but otherwise, makeup is not melting, so all good in my book. Let's see, and then up next we have, what are some makeup tips for beginners?
Well, I know your skin tone. Like, know the difference between cool tones and warm tones, undertones, and base. Bella?
So I can definitely vouch and add on to a lot of what Naomi is hinting at. Um, a lot of the practices within cosplay come down from the beauty industry, in which cosmetology is around the study of cosmetology is the beauty industry itself. Cosmetology does not study fashion too. Fashion is a whole nother entity.
Yeah.
If you're looking for sewing, we have a sewing episode, I believe, here. Um, yeah,
Where?
on this channel. So go ahead and watch that if you want to. I don't think I'm in that one. That one's old, I think. But it's a really good episode. You can go ahead and watch that for fashion. But when it comes down to makeup for beginners, I would say just play around with certain products. A lot of people will say that if you wear makeup every day, like you're insecure. No, the art of makeup, if you want to practice the art of makeup and wear makeup every single day, to practice it in the morning and to wear it out and get used to it for a cosplay, do it. I did that in high school. I highly recommend that you do it. Do different looks, get creative. If you're on a dress code, do something within the dress code. Um, if not, you can kind of experiment with it at home, like on a free day that you have, free time. Um, And if you want to get used to practicing on somebody else and you don't have anybody, get yourself a really good cosmetology mannequin. It can be cheap, it can be expensive, whatever you want to get that you think that you could work with, go for it. I have about 10 cosmetology mannequins from cosmetology school that I will whip out once in a while and do like a look on, because I got nobody in my house that wants makeup on them. Except me. Fred runs away.
Mm.
That's funny.
Um, so I'll usually practice on them, or I'll practice on myself if I'm doing something for myself. Um, and really, you can just basics of makeup, like all you can. I would recommend that you absolutely have as starters for makeup as a beginner is foundation, um, this, and your setting and finishing products. That is your base that I want you beginners to start out with, because you're gonna get used to how a full face feels. That way you can just practice like putting it on. And when you feel ready and you want to go down to practice mode, you can use a eyeshadow brush and some water, just kind of like practice different like stroking techniques. It can be on your arm, it can be on your face, it can be on your leg. Like definitely when it comes down to like eyeliner, if you want to be in practice mode, go for it. And then you can go like into like any eyeliners that you want to. So kind of just don't feel like you have to do everything in one go for your first time as a beginner. Stick down and just doing like the bare minimum to get used to that, no matter which step that you choose that you want to practice. Definitely study a lot of what cosmetology students and licensed professionals study. Have those connections into those people as well. If you want a connection to me, I love teaching. I will teach you. I just ask, just say, hey, shoot me DM, hey, belladonnarose.cosplays on Instagram. What up? Teach me cosmetology. I'm like, I got you. But you can study color theory, study everything, and just experiment as much as you can. The world is endless and out there. So your face shape. If you want to like figure out how to contour certain characters with your face shape and convert those into like onto your face for your beautiful looks, go for it. You know,
Do
it's makeup. The world of makeup is endless. Just don't do blackface and don't be offensive with your makeup.
yes, be respectful of other people's cultures.
Big rule in this house. Big rule.
Big rule here too.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to consult with someone too beforehand. So if you can find the right person to talk with. So let me see. So jump kind of piggybacking off of what Bella said about like, oh, like if you can find someone, me flashbacking to high school when I was first experimenting with makeup and looking at my younger sister and being like, so you want to try a new makeup look? Like, would you like to be goth? Would you like to be a fairy? Like this kind of thing. Keeping it with it because I do my makeup beside her and everything, and we take selfies and all this stuff. So fun, made for great bonding. So, yes, and my tip is pretty lighthearted, I hope. Just, have fun, be creative, experiment. When Bella was talking, saying like, oh, like experiment and stuff, in my mind, I was thinking like leveling up. At first you might have like a couple things, maybe a few little makeup pieces, but then eventually, as you're able to grow in cosplay, your makeup will also grow alongside as well with different characters. So, you don't have to have everything all at once all together. So, especially if you're not familiar with the world of makeup and everything. So, just, start small, start with what's familiar, get creative, experiment. So, different things like that. So, because, like, I do notice, like, today, whenever I was putting on, like, the oh goodness, words. Like the face paint and everything, I was like, this doesn't look right. Mostly because first I didn't have my glasses on, and I turn into Velma from Scooby Doo, and I have like no idea if anything looks right, which is so much fun. It's so much fun, like putting on like eyeshadow. I'm like, well, was it right? And then I gotta put on my glasses, then take them off, do it, put on my glasses. Like this is. Wish my eyes would work right, but they don't. So yeah, but at first it kind of looks a little bit crazy, but once you put on the cosplay, you put on the wig and the accessories and all that, it all comes together. Promise you that. So it's my little message of hope for new beginners into the makeup world. So up next we have what has been your favorite cosplay makeup look? I'll give you guys two. I'll do two. Top two.
Honestly, doing eyes out was probably my favorite makeup look because I got to look like I got punched in the eye,
Oh my god.
like during the war arc. Like,
Yeah.
I have a hard time picking favorites, but I'd say my most favorite amount of. I'm gonna switch this question up a little bit. I know it's not what you asked, just
Okay.
because I don't have like a favorite two looks. I guess my favorite makeup looks will always revolve around the amount of time that it takes to experiment with something new, and I'm like, do I like this? Do I like this? And then on top of the amount of time that I am in makeup, usually the maximum amount of time that I can stand being in makeup is going to be 3 hours. I know with the arcane looks that I do, by number one topic mostly, by
Guys, number one.
um they take almost up to 3 hours, maybe at max, like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and a half. I know with Bai, the full makeup will take about from the face, tattoos will take about 3 hours because it takes 30 minutes for each arm, 1 hour for doing back if I'm doing my own back with body paint, up to an hour to 45 minutes in just face makeup alone because there's so much detail that I put into it for the sake of my own facial structure and my own facial features are structured differently than the actual characters. So I gotta take care of that. You gotta know. And on top of if I'm doing any makeup that involves looking like, she has like a little bit of like red on her face, like
Mm,
irritation, any cuts, any scars, like
mm,
if case if I'm gonna be like recording certain videos where like, oh, she's been in battle.
yeah.
Um, um, Usually that's like the max amount of time that I can like stand being in makeup. If I do have a friend with me, once in a while they will be like, can I do the back tattoos for you? And I'm like, yes you can. That means that I get to sleep for like an hour.
Yeah.
You can tattoo
That's
on me. It
wonderful.
happened. It happened. Recently it happened.
Mm,
Um, so that's other than that, like all the makeup looks that I do are my favorite because like they're fun. Um, the only makeup looks that I won't really like are makeup looks where like, possibly the character's just not meant to be for me because they don't fit my facial structure. They don't fit
mm,
you know, the makeup routines that are in place for me, and no other makeup routines are going to work to help me um blend and to be like this character. Obviously Todoroki. Sometimes I look like
mhm.
Felix from Stray Kids. I see
Oh,
that. I see that.
I
Yes.
see that.
Um,
Yes, we love Felix. Woo. All right, topic for
I don't
another
know if
time.
it's from Stray Kids. Um, but I tend to kind of I really like to use makeup to make it my own too.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So,
Mhm.
sounds good. All right, let me see. Rounding off this question, two of my favorite cosplay makeup looks I've done over the past almost 6 years has been Ainsley from Rainbow High whenever she transfers to Shadow High and she's got like the dramatic rainbow, but it's like dark tones and everything. It's like I love that look. That was one of my favorites. I think that's in one of the school AUs. Don't quote me on that, but I'll check it out later. And then another one was Grimm-Pura that I've done 2 or 3 times. One of them was for a Demon Interviews episode, but that was a lot of face paint. But then, like doing like the green eyeshadow and kind of making it dark, like that contrast and everything. It turned out really well, and so did like the red lines and all that. So those are my top two that I really enjoyed doing and felt really pretty in. Even though it's like kind of dark, but at the same time, it's like, oh, but I feel pretty too. So yes, so go with those two. Up next is what is a cosplay makeup look you want to try?
Ooh, a cosplay look that I want to try is I want like try doing like small like scars and stuff on my cheeks for my characters.
Naomi's
Bella.
gonna look pretty rad
Mm.
with those scars right
We
there.
love that.
Look at me! I
Yeah.
did just in makeup.
I'll talk to you later about that, Bella.
Yeah. But a makeup look that I really want to try. This is actually something that I'm gonna choose to challenge. So I am a fan of The Last of Us. Outside of cosplay makeup and everything, um, I look 95% accurate to Ellie Williams from The Last of Us. I swear to John, I don't know what it is. Okay. Um, so I look 95% accurate to her. And I've done her makeup look before and I've gotten it down like to a D. Just because I'm like,
Mhm.
I want to see if I can do it. I'm like, oh dang. Um, but something that I want to try makeup wise from The Last of Us, because I think it will really challenge and inspire me to start working with different types of other products. Um, is the makeup for the clickers, and the
Ooh.
bloaters and
Yes.
stuff. Like
Oh.
it's that really thriller horror looking creatures, like intense stuff.
Yes.
Um, almost like, oh, it reminds you of Stranger Things, those guys, but it's
The
like The Last of
McCarthy's.
Us.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, I I would love to try out those products, and I would love to one day like achieve that first on the mannequin because I don't know if I want to do it on me just yet. Um, and then like experimenting with like how to do um makeup on top of those products. Like I think you can use like liquid latex or something, like
That's
put
Mhm.
sculpting
yeah.
foam on your face to do like all of that.
Mhm.
Um, so I really want that is my next makeup look that I want to try as like a challenge into my profession.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
These
it just
little
looks so exciting. Yeah, it looks
these
great.
documents.
Mm.
Of course,
Oh.
you guys are gonna see this on my Instagram. And me
Mhm.
being like, okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. And then you're gonna see like 1 month of full on 4 frustrations a day later
Oh,
of like,
that's part of the joy of
Mm.
cosplaying. Having those
Yes,
frustrating moments, because in those moments, that's how you start to learn and grow. You can share everything with
exactly.
it. So, yes. Looking forward to seeing that. And yours too, Naomi. So, little scarves, they're
Mhm.
pretty fun to do. So, let me
Mhm.
see. Makeup look I want to try. Well, I'm doing it today. I'm doing the mermaid look finally. I was able to test that out. So, check mark. We got it, but I'll say in the future, trying to think. I don't have any heavy makeup plans. Every character I do is like very cutesy and girly, so it's pretty light pinks and browns and stuff. But Salem from RWBY would be someone I'd want to do, like whenever she falls into the pool and becomes like part Grimm and stuff. Like that'd be pretty cool to do. Kind of scary at the same time.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's been on the list for a
yeah.
while, but one day
Mhm.
we will get her. So let me see. Up next we have. I'm trying to read. Where do you get cosplay makeup inspiration from?
I mostly look at other cosplay doing like the eyeshadow makeup.
Mhm.
It's really interesting to see what they do. Bella?
So when it comes down to the inspiration from like make cosplay makeup, um, I will tend to go in and I will look at the character, study the character, I'll research the character's features if the features are listed. Because sometimes the artists of characters, they will actually go more and more in depth about the character personally, like down to like their skin type, all that stuff. But sometimes they'll just do that for their own files, that way they can animate the character correctly every single time. I'll tend to kind of research and see if I can access those. If not, I'll kind of experiment around for myself. I'll actually take the image and I'll use Adobe Photoshop and I'll use the color word to kind of like match up and see like the coloration formulas. Um, that's something that I learned how to do like years and years ago when I first started cosplaying, like right before cosmetology school.
Mm.
So I'll kind of do that. And then I'll keep going with like my art materials that I use to like design cosplay looks and characters and stuff or like future stuff that I'm looking to do at some point. And then I will actually just go online and I'll print out a face chart. I'll print out a face chart and then I'll actually do the look on the face chart. Um, and I'll use a face chart that is my facial face structure. And I'll use a face chart that is close to theirs. So that way I can kind of just like have something physical in front of me just to kind of like work off of. And then I can actually take those charts and I can put them in like a book and preserve them so that when I go through them I'm like, okay, internet's out, can't look at the character online, here's my book.
There you go.
And it actually helps me like figure out placements and everything a lot better. Really, really, really good. So that's how I actually get inspired for a cosplay look so that I can go and like do it in the form of makeup. Same thing goes for hair, same thing goes
Mm.
for outfits.
Excited, like to the book, which I have seen part of that book, so the wig one. So yeah, makes sense. It's good too. I guess it was like portfolio wise, it's almost like that, like having like a backup and everything. So it's interesting you mentioned the Adobe thing. I never thought to do that, and it made me think because I'm still trying to learn Adobe and it's hard. I was thinking of like Canva or
Mhm.
something. If you like put like the makeup or something in there. I know it won't be like 100% accurate, but it is a good place to start at least. You know,
Mm.
sometimes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
sometimes like I'll
Any
go
photo,
back. Oh, God.
yeah, usually any photo editor that has a color wheel that you can kind of like um insert the photo in, bring up the color wheel and kind of just like select the airbrush onto like a certain area of the image and it'll show you what color that is, like from the color wheel it sets. Um, I like to use that in case if I have to like mix color for something or if I'm trying to find a color in like a store of really cosplay makeup or a fabric of anything of the sort. Like I'll just use that.
Okay, makes sense. Um,
Mhm.
I was gonna say too, like adding on to that, like, I usually save my cosplays that I do in like a folder or, post them on Instagram and stuff so I can go back later and be like, how did I do my makeup? So whatever helps for you. So, and then real quick, wrapping up this question. So usually I get inspiration from TikTok. That's where I feel like I'm mostly on these days, and that's most of the cosplay feed. So like TikTok will have some ideas and inspiration. Instagram, if I see any photos of amazing cosplayers and stuff doing like similar characters or like a cosplay I want to do and stuff, like I'll try to get inspiration from them. And then YouTube also has great videos. Like I said before, I found one YouTube video to kind of help with my look. More longer form content. I'm sure they have shorts and whatnot, but if you want more detailed, somebody explaining what to do, what not to do, and everything. So there's that. And I want to say Pinterest because for a while my Pinterest board did have like makeup looks and I do original characters
Mhm.
as well. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can do this for original character. But now it's switched to nail art. So I'm like, okay, I had the makeup, now I need the nails, I guess. So I don't know. Pinterest
Mm.
algorithm, I'll never figure it out. So, and I just have one more question, which I feel is very, very important after you're done wearing makeup for an hour, several hours. So,
Mhm.
what is your face care routine after wearing a lot of cosplay makeup? And that can include the face paints as well, because I know that's a bit more specific.
Mhm. Well, since I don't really wear that much makeup, I just go in with like this Neutrogena micellar water because I have like very sensitive skin and I can't put anything like too abrasive on it. Bella?
Yeah. So usually, for my after wearing cosplay makeup, um, it also follows up what I do before I do the makeup. Before I do the face makeup, um, I like to take a shower first before I actually go in and I cosplay. Like I actually do a full washing routine on myself. Um, and like I'll put like moisturizing oil like on areas of my body where like I need it because my skin is hmm. And I don't do it on my face though because like usually my routine for my face is like the Pinoxyl stuff and then like any like moisturizer that I need. But you know, usually I'll do like hot water to open up the pores, do my full routine, and then I'll actually put cold water. I'll take an ice cube,
Mm.
and then I will actually like seal up those pores like entirely. It actually minimizes the pores, and it helps
Mm.
my makeup seal out nicely, more like nice during the day and without fail. And then I'll actually go in after wearing my makeup during the day. I'll go in, I'll take it off with a regular makeup wipe. And I'll be like gentle about it too.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I'll like take it
Mhm.
off. And I'll go over my face about twice. So I'll go over it once, pat it dry, go over another time
mm,
because sometimes product will build up and they will get in your pores. Like once in a while it'll just happen if like a pore or two like opens up. So and if makeup gets into like your pores, you will start to get acne because it's not used to that in your body. What
Mhm.
comes on your skin goes in your bloodstream. Think about that.
Oh.
And I will actually um I'll actually go in with like the pinoxidil again, um, just to kind of like wash the makeup like fully out. Do the ice cube thing again, and then I'll just kind of like let my face rest for like at
mhm, yeah.
least 24 hours
Mhm,
max until the next time I put the makeup back on.
Mhm.
mhm. I feel that I'm always like watching the clock, like, okay, is it about time to put on more makeup? Is it gonna cause more problems? Like,
Mhm.
so I was like,
Yeah. So once in a while I will be uh during con season I will be cosplaying a lot more than usual. And I will be making wear excuse me making
good.
I will be wearing makeup um
Mhm.
almost every single day or like every single day because I'll be cosplaying every single day.
Yeah.
But outside of uh cosplay, I don't really wear a whole lot of makeup. If I do, I'll like do small touch-ups on my face and that's it because I'm like I don't want to deal with a full face. I'm not going to prom and I'm not getting married, so I don't need it.
That's true. Oh, yeah, let me see. So I'm trying to think. So after I wear makeup for a while, Neutrogena Gina face wipe. They're one or two depending on how much is on there. I do that, and then I just like warm water, rinse as much as I can, very gently, like patting the skin because you don't want it to dry out anything or cause eczema. So like pat everything
Mhm.
dry, and then I use it's like a thicker lotion, but it's called Vanny Cream. I use that for my skin to help like make sure it's all good to go. And then yeah, I just kind of like wait several hours or a day until like applying more makeup. So even my work makeup, which is just eyeshadow, mascara, eyeliner, and concealer, I'm still like counting down the minutes. Like, okay, is it okay? Is my skin okay?
Mhm.
Yay, so much fun. So, and with that, that was all of my questions I had on my list. So, makeup part two. But as always, I like to turn it over to the guests and tea sippers, see if they have any questions related about makeup for folks in the tea room or for viewers out there. So, Naomi, I see you shaking your head. Nope, we're good. Bella, anything you want to add? Questions? Ba-da-ba-dum.
I have a really fun one just because I've also had experience with these kinds. But um what two, three, maybe four characters do you say you could cosplay like in order to how the makeup builds up to the last character's final look? For example, like uh um
There you
Mhm.
um uh, Deku to G, per se.
Mm.
That's pretty fun.
And is that for the viewers?
Is this for the viewers or for us? Because I do have a fun little
Everybody,
story.
everybody,
Let me see.
everybody who wants it on this person.
Oh, yeah, Naomi, you can go first, and then I'll tell my little
Mm.
story.
I would probably say the least amount of makeup I use is for my OCs, and then it goes from my OCs straight to Aizawa because his makeup is just nightmare, nightmare.
was in a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Like someone thinks putting on my makeup is a nightmare. Oh no. Okay. Let me see. So my fun little story was back in 2023, I think. I did 9 different Noras. So I had like 2 of her outfits. I had some like fun little outfits like fairy Nora, pirate Nora, different things like that. So with Nora, it's like the same, but it's like bright pink eyeshadow. So, the first couple Noras was like that. But then the last 2 Noras I did was fairy Nora, and I like to put like these like white little freckles around her eyes. Makes it look a little bit more magical, and like a little bit of sparkle shimmer on my lids. So, I did that. And then the last Nora is Goth Nora. And that's like some heavy black and pink makeup and like black gothic lipstick and stuff. So it's like this slow progression of like girly cutesy Nora. And it's like, oh, even more cutesy. And then it's like dark goth Nora and stuff. And she had to be the last one for the day. Even though I had Elf Nora to do, I was like, I can't get all the makeup off and then do Elf Nora. So she had to wait until I think another podcast recording I did as hers. So yeah, I share that because that took 3 hours to do 9 different cosplay of my girl. So yeah,
Oh, I could never.
I was like, that was a long day. I'm gonna go take a nap. So yeah, self care, people, it's important. So how about you, Bella? Progression of the makeup.
Yeah. So, any character that I can do that goes from just a minimum amount of like neutral makeup to the most extreme, I will do it. Examples are Bakugo to Bai, um, as explained, Deku to Jinx, um, um, I know Mina, I can't really do anything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, I believe that's it,
That's
really.
it. That's a good list. Yeah, it's almost like shapeshifting in a way. You go from like one character, one makeup look, and then it's
Yeah.
like switch. And I know people do that at conventions. Like it'll be like Saturday morning, there'll be one character, and then Saturday afternoon, they might be a different character, which I have to do here for a convention soon. I'm kind of sort of nervous about. So,
Yeah, I
I
admit,
don't
I
know.
admit though, I was switching up my makeup in my entire cosplay during
Mhm.
SwampCon 2025 when
Mm.
I went, because I had a performance that night, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable with like being in a cheer outfit the entire day.
Oh yeah, no, that's
And I was like, well, we
Mm.
have to go in the morning, which kind of failed. We failed the shoot. Uh, but we were trying to record like during the morning, and then I switched up to like a cheer cosplay in the evening,
yeah.
and I remember like I had to redo my entire makeup routine, and I had to like put on the outfit and everything. Like people kept seeing me switch from Vi to like a cheerleader character, and it
Oh
was
no.
like,
What?
I was a cheerleader, what?
Oh,
Oh no, wait.
mm-hmm. That's pretty funny though. I like that. That's
Mm.
very cute. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think because I think this year for State Comic Con Hagerstown, I think in the like Sunday morning I was gonna be Belle from Beauty and the Beast because I wanted to pass out little book stickers. But then in the
Aw.
afternoon, one of my friends cosplays Link from Legend of Zelda, and
Mm.
we were talking last time about like because I have like the fairy wings and stuff, and we're like, oh, like what if I dressed as Navi and you dressed as Link, and we did like the team thing and stuff, and I'm like now I'm thinking and I'm like, ooh, Belle, it might be easy. Belle's gonna be like supernatural, and then Navi's gonna be like the blues and the sparkles. So
Mm.
I think I can wing it. Wing that.
Eh.
So I think I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a fun question though, because yeah, you do have to stop and consider if you want to do 2 different cosplays within a day or a convention, like how are you going to manage your makeup look? So
Yeah.
fun, fun, fun. all the things you gotta consider. So that's why natural cosplays are the best. Tomorrow I gotta cosplay Ruby Rose, Callum, and then Pom Pom Purin. So I'm doing 3 different cosplays tomorrow before we do our Hello Kitty Sanrio podcast recording. So yeah. Oh, cinnamon roll. So yeah. But that's all natural, and I was like, phew. Good thing. Let me see. Excellent question, Bella. Any other questions or thoughts?
Not really.
No.
But if you
Better
guys want to shoot some questions to us in the comments below, feel free.
do it. Do it. And also, too, you can always message Bella now that she's a licensed cosmetologist and everything. So you're more than welcome.
Belladonnarose.cosplays on Instagram.
There you go. So keep wanting to call you a licensed clinician. I'm like, no, that's me. So, which is so interesting because the last time we did makeup part 1 was October 2023. And actually, it was Bella who inspired me after the podcast recording. She's like, yeah, I might have failed the first exam and stuff like that. She's like, but I'm going to go do it again. And I remember I had just failed my exam and everything. And I was like, you know what? That's a good attitude to have. I'll take my exam again. And I passed January 2024. Bella, when did you pass yours? That was close.
Uh, so it was 1 week before SwamCon 2024 that I got my cosmetology license. And I remember I was saving, I think I saved um the prize for all of my friends and the photographer who I paid to shoot with at the convention.
Yeah.
I remember I was so excited. I was just like, I'm a licensed cosmetologist now, guys.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I remember I was so excited. I literally turned to the photographer and I said, if you are ever in the area where I live and you need a haircut, I will do it because I love cosmetology. I love my job and I'm licensed.
Yeah, so both around the
Like,
same
congrats.
time. Yeah,
Congrats. Like,
exactly.
it was like the
So
weekend
sweet.
before the con I got the license.
That's awesome. Yeah, hard work and perseverance. So we were like, we're not gonna give up. We're gonna study and all this stuff. So yeah, it was just something interesting when I looked back at it. I was like, wow, like, I do remember that like sticking on my mind. And I was like, all right, we do it. So we did it, and now we're here. So 2 years later, just about ish, short. It's getting late, so let me see. Well, if that's it for all the questions, we'll leave a nice, fun, little lighthearted question down below. So I just want to say, thank you both for attending today's podcast recording, getting to hear all the exciting updates and looks and everything. It's always fun to talk about. So let's see. And if you're a fellow cosplayer out there and you'd like to join Cosplay Tea Time, you can message us on our Instagram. We'll have a link tree down below. Make sure you follow Lovely Guest and Tea Sippers and all that good stuff. So have to be 18 years or older to join just for safety reasons and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're just plugging away over 100 episodes, podcasting stuff, good talks. So good vibes as well. So and plenty of tea. So but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just follow, support. Greatly appreciate it. But we're going to go ahead and take off into our little corners of the world. Just want to say thank you all again for watching. Hopefully you're taking care, staying safe, and we'll see you next time. And as always, keep sipping away. Bye, everyone.